All right, guys, I'm back. I'm going to try to have a little fun with this. I got some new tools. Not quite sure how they're going to work yet, but I figured I would give them a try um, and see if I can't come up with some fun and exciting content for you all. Um, this is my first time playing with these tools, so it's relatively short and I'm learning a lot. So please be patient with me while I kind of get the hang of this, but hopefully we'll get some fun together. We'll go through some stuff and we'll talk through it. We are going to be looking at the last game, the Cleveland Browns game. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Justin Fields. What else is there to talk about? I mean, we could talk about Sweat, but I mean, you can only beat a dead horse so long. And honestly, defense is what it is. It's all about offense for me. You all know that. So I'm not gonna pretend to uh, want to do defense. But because of that, it gives us a chance to talk about what does matter to the upcoming offseason more than anything else. And that is, what is Justin Fields still doing in year three that is good, bad, and ugly? First, we're going to take a look at the bad. The second play will be the good, and the third play will be the ugly. Again, I took three just because I need to keep this short. So, looking at what we've got here, this is your basic uh, offensive setup here. We're in a shotgun. Uh, we're facing a three-man defensive backfield. Most likely coverages are cover one. Obviously, you have the uh, deep safety and the two corners are walked up. That's why cover one is the most likely because those cornerbacks are playing awfully shallow to turn and run with the receivers all the way back into a cover three. Does it happen? It happens all the time. We're talking about what is the most likely, not what are they in, because obviously you won't know that until they snap the ball. They disguise coverages all the time. So the first thing we have to do is decide, okay, is this man or zone? Because that's going to change how our receivers play, how the quarterback reads things. So we're going to run this little motion here, and you're going to see our wide receiver as he's moving in. The defensive back moves with him. You're going to see that defensive back. You just saw him move over to where he's going to end up. And that is going to bring us to this spot right here, where now we have uh, three defensive backs. But look at the gap now between the wide receiver on the end and that defensive back. That's a pretty big tell right there. If I'm a quarterback and I'm reading that and I'm looking at that, this tells me pretty clearly that I'm up against a cover three. So as we get going, he's going to snap the ball. Boom. All right. So here we are looking at three. You see the defensive backs going backwards. The cornerbacks are going backwards. The safety's going backwards. Immediately, Justin Fields should be reading cover three. Now, that does mean because Moore's running a streak downfield that he is in essence one on one with that cornerback. So it's kind of hard for me to say it's a horrible idea to take more one on one with the cornerback, but I want to show you that there was a much better option on this play. So as we get going, you're going to notice a few things. First of all, when we're dealing with cover three, you have a number of underneath coverages. Your outside linebackers are going to handle the hook or the curl to flat. Your inside linebacker is going to handle hook to curl. And obviously, that leaves a number of holes here. But I want to draw your attention to Darnell Wright over here, who's just been beaten. Justin Fields should see this pressure right here. Now, that should turn him immediately to his hot read, which against a cover three should be open in that highlighted zone right there. He should turn, he should pop this ball right here to D'Onta Foreman in that highlighted zone and turn it upfield and get what he can. This should be a very simple hot call. Very quick, very simple, easy to read, diagnose. Uh-oh, cover three, my guy gets beat. I know where my hot zone is. I know where it is against a cover three. This should be effective, and I'm gonna turn and fire the ball. Honestly, I don't understand, other than the fact that he likes the home run ball, why he wouldn't have checked this ball down. This is a classic example of a check down or what should have been a check down. Boom, there he goes. He fires to Moore and he underthrows. We'll talk about that in a second, why he underthrows that ball. Now, here we are. We're going to see it from the all 22. Okay, there goes the motion. Here we go. And there's your snap. play action. For those of you who say we need more play action, well, there you go, play action. So now we see right here, we know what's going on. You got the player here rolling out into the flat. You have Kmet going downfield, and he's going to get out in and hold the cornerback deep and try to keep the attention of that inside linebacker. Mooney is coming across the formation, and he's going to run out here and hold not only this inside linebacker, but the outside linebacker as well, because he's technically going to transverse both of their zones. So by doing that, he's going to guarantee that they have to give him real attention, because if that inside linebacker flows with Foreman, then Fields just comes right behind him and hits Mooney in front of number 44. If number 44 comes up and takes Foreman, then all Mooney has to do is turn up field behind the outside linebacker, and Fields just lollipops it right over him, and off he goes. Honestly, they had no choice but to turn and run with Mooney, meaning Foreman is going to come wide open here on his hot route. This honestly should be such an easy call for an NFL level quarterback. Now, that's not to say I could do it in game time actions. I know that everybody's saying, oh, you couldn't do it. Well, of course not. I'm not an NFL quarterback. I mean, if I were, I wouldn't be here sitting here at home making videos. I'd be watching videos in an NFL room getting paid millions of dollars. So this is something that an NFL level quarterback should be able to see, diagnose, and read pre-play and fire off this hot read. But he doesn't. And so what you end up with is Garrett coming in. Look at this. Right slips. He's beat. Hot read. Fields sees it. But again, look at his body language. He is going to Moore all the way. He's got this wide open zone right here highlighted where he should be hitting Foreman right now. That ball should already be on its way to Foreman, who's going to turn up inside that cornerback and is going to make him look silly on his way to gaining a whole lot of yards on that check down. But unfortunately, that's not what we get. What we get is Fields jumping off his back foot. Now, it's one thing to throw off your back foot, but he's literally jumping off his back foot. This is like an NBA level fadeaway, and he's going to try to chuck the ball 40 yards down the field in the air, arm only, off his back foot. Look, guys, I get that Fields has a cannon for an arm. I mean, everybody knows that this kid has got an arm talent like you cannot believe. But any quarterback in the NFL, I don't care how strong your arm is, going backwards, jumping in the air, throwing off your back foot, and trying to chuck the ball 40 yards down the field, he is absolutely lucky that the only thing that happened is that this pass was incomplete. This is a recipe for disaster, and there is no way a third-year quarterback should be making this kind of mistake. There we go. And there's the result. We all know what happened. So let's take a look at another play here. Again, we're seeing three defensive backs, a safety, and two corners. They're up close, meaning we are most likely again in cover one, but we know the Browns like to disguise. Cover three is cover one. They like to try to make it difficult, but to tell between man and zone, which is why you saw as much motion and shift as you did during this game. I know a lot of people are like, wow, there was a lot of that. That's a comment I heard from a few people. The Bears did a lot of motion today. Well, yes, they did. And the reason for that is because Cleveland loves to move back and forth between cover one and cover three, and they love to disguise their coverages. And they're trying to confuse Fields because they know that Fields has had communication issues with his receivers between man and zone. Kemet even called him out on it after one of the games. I had to go back and apologize to Fields for that comment. But that's what they're trying to do to him. They know it's a weakness in his game, and they're trying to exploit it. So as we get going on this play, we're going to see a wide receiver motion, which is going to hopefully tell us whether this is man or zone. All right, there's the motion. And oh, look. The cornerback does not carry with the receiver. He moves backwards. This tells us clearly we're in zone. So now we know this is cover three. We know where the defensive backs are going. We have a good idea where the linebackers are going, and we know where we're going to be able to attack this defense. So right now, Justin Fields in his head should be seeing the zones that are available to attack this defense, and he should know which of his receivers match up with it. Where do you attack a cover three? Well, there are four primary spots. The first spot is underneath the linebackers. Now, this is a very tough spot to hit unless you're getting blitz, which is why it's typically used only for hot routes. Things like an inside slant from Mooney, a tight end release, a back coming out of the backfield. You can hit the deep middle as long as you hit it in front of the safety. That would be something like a post route, maybe a sit route, a deep dig, depending on how you want to do that. Or you can hit that intermediate outside roll kind of between the linebacker and the deep cornerback who's rolled into three. That's a lot of the times where you get that carry route all the way across the field, or an out route from this wing back right here off of the tight end. So there are a few different ways. And right now, through Justin Fields' mind, he should be going, okay, I've got cover three. I know where my play is. This is where my players are going to end up. Which of my players is going to end up in a zone that is known to be a weakness in cover three? He should already have an idea of where he's wanting to go with the ball before this ball is snapped. All right, we get into the play. Here's the snap. Now, this, I told you, was going to be the play where we look at what Justin Fields did good. Now, this is an example of reading it perfectly pre-snap. He sees cover three. He sees a weakness in the zone. He knows where it's going to be. I've highlighted it here for you. He's got DJ Moore. He knows he's got him on the out route, running right into one of those zones. The cornerback is going to continue to go deep, and I don't care what anybody says. That linebacker there has no chance to get this ball. Fields knows it. The linebacker knows it. He's going to make a valiant attempt with some great athleticism. I was actually really surprised by his ability to get even remotely close to this thing. But they've got him beat. They've got him beat already. This play is already done. They just have to play out the rest of the string. So here we go. Fields fires. Now, I want to bring your attention to something. Fields, because of the way he diagnosed this play, notice DJ Moore is not even fully out of his break yet, and Fields has got the ball in the air. Yes, that is the ball in the white and red circle that is swirling around on your screen. The ball is out before Moore finishes his break. Again, that means that cornerback cannot reverse course and get back on top of Moore. If Fields holds that ball too long, and we're going to talk about another danger that's coming that you didn't see in live action because he got it out so quickly, is that if he holds that ball for a moment and that cornerback diagnoses what's going on, he's going to flip his hips and he's going to get up on Moore, and suddenly this is a contested catch. But because Fields actually reads this well, understands, diagnoses the defense, gets to the top of his drop, and immediately throws the ball, what do we get? We get a completion to DJ Moore right there. All he has to do is catch the ball and tap his toes. At the NFL, that's as close to a give me as you're going to get. Here comes your motion. You have a shift. Linebackers shift over. Now they're going to shift back. They're going to try to threaten with a blitz. That's really what they're doing here. You can see they're looking at the A gap between 62 and 76. They're looking at the B gap between 64 and 58. That's what they're threatening. So if I'm Fields, I have to keep an eye on that. Again, they're not showing blitz, but that's something I have to know is possible because I have open gaps with open lanes coming to me. Now, if that's the case, we go Bob. 76 takes 96, 70 takes 57, 76 is, or I mean, 62 is going to take 42, 64 is going to take 93, 58, 44, 84 is going to take 95, and we just go straight Bob across the front, and that's it. Now, we don't have to do that, and we know we don't have to do that. Why? Because at least Justin Fields knows he doesn't have to do that. Why? Because he's already diagnosed this play. He already knows what's going to happen. It looks like magic, but it's really not. This is just great quarterback play right here. This is the kind of stuff we need to be seeing from him every single play. Here we go. And, oh, look at that. Look at that. How is it you don't know this play? How is it that this play is not stuck in your head and on every single replay highlight? Here, both offensive linemen on the right side get beat. And they don't just get beat. Darnell Wright gets beat pretty handily around the edge. Myles Garrett is absolutely coming for Fields as fast as he can. And you have interior pass rush as well. Guys, If Fields doesn't read this right from the beginning, if he puts that ball back down, he is toast. He cannot bail to his left. And if he tries to bail straight ahead, I'm sorry, Davis did not get enough of the defender to be able to open a lane for Fields to run. Fields would have been absolutely crushed. But because he did everything he is supposed to do before the play, and because he gets it out in rhythm, in timing, in the flow of the offense, he makes his offensive line look good. Guys, this is what we talk about when we say your quarterback makes your line look good. There are quarterbacks like, say, Patrick Mahomes. Peyton Manning was a master at it, who make their offensive lines look better than they actually are. And they do it by understanding, diagnosing. This is something that we see with Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. You know, Lucas Patrick looked so much better with Rodgers in Green Bay than he's ever looked for us here. Why? Because Rodgers got the ball out. He read the defense, he got the ball out. There were plays like this where guys were coming at Rodgers all the time, but the ball was already gone before they got there. Why? Because he understood everything. This is the kind of play that keeps your quarterback upright and makes Pro Bowlers out of your offensive linemen. In fact, you're going to see Fields stays completely clean on this play. And why does he stay completely clean? Well, it's because he gets the ball out quickly. Bang, there you go. More catches, taps his toes, and he's out. So now we've had the bad, and now the good, and now unfortunately, guys, we got to look at the ugly. This is just the continuing issue for Justin Fields. There is no way around this. We've got to talk about it. There's just no way we can. So here we go. We're looking at a four-man defensive backfield. Look at the spacing here. Okay, you've got 7-8 yards on one side, you got 2 yards on the other. This is a cover two. Could it be a two-man? Sure, it could be a two-man, but we're going to figure that out real quick with yet another motion, and we're going to know exactly what we're looking at. So as we progress here, there's your motion. We're going to see if he's going to carry down. If he does, we know it's man. If he doesn't, we know it's zone. Okay. So there's your motion. Oh, wait, look. There. Now we see he's moving backwards. He was motioned backwards by the outside linebacker. He's not carrying with the receiver and he's not moving down, which means what? This means we're in two zone. So we know we have a cover two zone going on here. And that motion from the outside linebacker should have been Fields' biggest clue. Fields should know now without any doubt whatsoever. This is cover two. There is no question in anybody's mind what he's facing here. Okay, there's the rest of your motion. So what are we looking at in cover two? You got two deep that are going to go back. Now this is two, not Tampa two. So you're not running the mic up the center. So you're looking at hook to curl to flats on the linebackers. This cornerback should go out and carry the flat in that side. This cornerback should come out and carry the flat on that side. Where are you going to attack cover two? Well, you have the wide zones here, but where you're behind the corner, but under the safety, you have the deep middle in between the safeties. And if this linebacker on the inside who's walked up near the line of scrimmage happens to blitz, okay, if he blitzes right here, then you've got a zone right here that you should be targeting because you're going to try to fill the side that the linebacker blitzed from and force that cornerback to come through this receiver in order to make that hit. So again, guys, this should be fairly simple right here. This should be us going, okay, cover two, where are my receivers going to be? Which receiver is going to be in what zone in order to threaten this? All right, let's see what happens. Okay, there's your play. Bang. Okay, now we've got a winner. This is the same thing that we just saw with DJ Moore on the left side, except it's on the right side. You have an out route. Your cornerback's going backwards. Your outside linebacker is tied up with the other receiver. There's no way he should be anywhere close to this. Field should be doing the exact same thing here that he did on the last play. Bang. This ball should be out of his hands probably already, but you're going to see in just a second, he's right there. This ball should be out. That cornerback should be right there. He should be in the flat underneath this route. taking that away, forcing this receiver to bend out into that safety and making it a much more difficult throw for Fields. But because he got motioned back by that outside linebacker, they have created a mismatch. They have created a problem. They've created a hole in their defense where none should exist. And right there, you should have a first down, easy, maybe more than that if he can turn the corner, get himself upfield. And instead, we don't see it. Okay, we don't like it. We don't see it. Whatever, wherever we're going to call it. Well, now we're going to move on to our next options. All right. So you have an option here. Okay, but you got two there. So you're going to get him crunched. Uh-oh. That's but you know what? That's better than nothing. I'll take 4 yards and get him on, throw it low, get him on the ground. Um, over nothing. It's third down. That kind of stinks because you want a first, but hey, you know what? Live to fight another day. Take the punt and go. Here you've got a wide receiver who could catch the ball here. Now he turns up in the middle. Can he stretch it the rest of the yards? I don't know, but it's at least possible. It's at least possible. And then you've got him. Now, why he's not going out into this zone, I have no clue. I'm guessing play design, but he could bend it right under here, and Fields could try to throw a lollipop, up and over right here. I don't know if that's the play design or not. We don't see it happen, but instead we don't have time because Fields gets sacked. And there we go. 6 seconds elapsed between when the ball was snapped and when Fields was sacked. 6 seconds, guys, on what should have been an absolutely crystal clear play. I don't understand how in year 3 we continue to have these problems. So why are people saying that Justin Fields continues to have issues with seeing the simple things and doing the simple things despite all the wonderful things that he clearly can do? Well, the answer to that is pretty simple. Because he continues to take sacks on 6-second plays. He continues to miss checkdowns, even though he can sometimes do exactly what he's supposed to do. There are other times that he can't, and it drives people up the wall. Nobody seems to understand why it happens. I don't either, but it is what it is. I'll let you decide how you feel about it after watching this. I'll leave that in your court. You already know where I stand, but I at least wanted to provide you with some reasoning why. There are people that feel this way, including myself.